thousands. When was it like when they, I want to say, was it like 2011 when they officially discovered particle 115 or element 115? But this element, he said, was stable wherever these beings are from, and they use it to propel their craft through a means of bypassing normal propulsion systems with some insanely sophisticated method where they can pick points in space and they essentially just instantaneously traverse these points in space.
I brought a photograph with me. Of course, I left it in the other room, but I'll bring it out at some point. And it was a guy named James Kibble. He's Australian. And it's about it's April 1966. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I did a segment on a landing case that happened at Westall in 1966, which is a suburb, Westall Primary School, which is a suburb of Melbourne. Shane Ryan did a film on it. I just covered a section of it in The Phenomenon. And during my time in Australia, I'd heard about this guy, James Kibble, that shot a Polaroid of a disc a couple of kilometers away 2 days prior to the landing at the school. A lot of times when you have sightings, mass sightings like that, they're in and around the area for several days. So it's very likely that those two are connected. My point is this. According to James Kibble, and he's in the film, he said the disc was kind of coming down like this over his garden, and he had his Polaroid camera he was going to take pictures of.
Well, you're doing the same wobbling kind of motion with your hand.
I'm just telling you what he told me, yeah. Okay. He said it was kind of wobbling down like a leaf, kind of. And then he was like, holy shit. And he grabbed his Polaroid camera, and he said he did it so quickly, he smashed it in his face, and he split his nose open, but he snapped one shot. And he said what it did is it went like this. Which
turned sideways.
The photograph that I have shows it sideways, and I'll show it to you. I scanned it from the original Polaroid, and then it shot off at an unbelievable rate of speed, according to him.
Exactly how Lazar describes how these things work.
That's exactly my point. And when I interviewed all the children, now adults, that watched this thing land at this Westall Primary School in 1966. They said the same thing. It was sitting on the ground. They got up to, I think, about 10 feet away from it, which is pretty remarkable when you talk to witnesses, especially that many witnesses. I mean, there were roughly 300 kids. I didn't meet all 300 of them in the playground when this happened, and including the science teacher, this guy Greenwood, which I got him on camera for the first time in history in The Phenomenon. And they said it got off the ground, and then it went like this. It turned like this.
Turned sideways again.
And then it shot off at a high rate. It's in the movie. You can hear all the testimony.
It's the same thing.
Yes. And I got a photograph of it like this. I'll show it to you.
And no sound.
And no sound. A slight humming or buzzing sound. This is 1966. So, and I'm going to get to this later. We can go back to moment of contact. But I'm going to make the argument that some, and I cannot emphasize how many times we need to underline the word some, UFOs, UAP, originate from a non-human intelligence. And I'll start off in 45, and I'll take us up to modern day. Okay. Just a handful of cases that I have personally investigated. I have personally met the witnesses, gone to their houses, dating back to 45, 47, 52, 57, 55, 60s, 64, like all these cases, okay? So basically what I'm going to do is we know that the vast majority of these cases can be explained in conventional terms. All this noise about Chinese balloons and weather balloons, and that's all noise. It's obfuscation and noise. Yeah, we know that all that stuff exists. But what about the core 5 or 10% of cases, and I'm going to give you some samples today, that truly, after extensive and exhaustive investigation, not because of a lack of data, that defy a conventional explanation, and those are the cases that I'll share with you today.